pretty girl.
Loop Road from Hood River and up to Timberline when they had their big opening, wasn't it, Dutch?
Why don't you keep it? Put it
Oh, I remember the two big St. Bernard dogs.
You know,
Yeah.
They're still there.
They're not the same one.
Yeah. They're real old now. They're real old dogs, I tell you. In fact, maybe now that I think of it, maybe they were petrified.
Could be. Or the great-great-great-grandchildren of those original
That's right.
dogs.
Probably.
Oh, that's one of the greatest stories ever.
Let's hear it, Grandma. You had a dog that could smoke.
Our dog that smoked a pipe. My brother went to Portland one time and he came back late one night and he had this bulldog with him and his bulldog had a pipe in his mouth. And every time we went anywhere, he always went. I could go down to the post office and get the mail and give it to him and I said, take that home to Grandma. Nobody could have it but him. Or I could go to the butcher shop and buy meat and give it to him and I say, well, I'll take that home to Mama. And nobody gets it but him.
Took it home.
Take it home? The dog would take the meat home, huh?
Oh, he never touched it. He'd keep it in his mouth.
What kind of
My dad
tobacco
had-
did he
My
smoke?
dad had a movie. And I used to work in the box office and we'd go start for home in the afternoon and he'd sit down and pout. He was an awful dog to pout. So we had to go up to the candy store and buy a little sack of candy and take him home. He carried it clear home before he opened it. And he'd sit there on the sidewalk and he'd just pout.
What was his name? Do you know his name?
Nippy.
Nippy.
Did he always have a pipe in his mouth?
Well, and
Everybody's
if
a man.
anybody started to go anywhere, anybody put on their coat, boy, he'd tear the house down to find that pipe of his.
Remember, he used to
He'd be
kick
right at
his
the door
pipe under
waiting.
that fifth leg under the table, on the dining room table. He had a fifth leg under there. And that's
Yeah.
where he parked his pipe.
He went to school with me, and he'd lay under the teacher's desk and go to sleep, and he'd snore. You could hear him all over the building. I thought I had that picture, but I'll find it for you yet, Mike.
Okay.
He was one of these ugly-faced bulldogs.
Looked like Winston Churchill, huh?
Dutch, we've got a picture of that, of the dog in the...
Wicker chair.
No, we've got a picture of him in the back of the car, where the
On the
top of the car used to fold down, and then they made a little kind of a pouch, a little bench back there, and we've got...
Old-style touring car.
Yeah.
Cadillac.
Well, now tell about the time you
He
had
was
to
sitting in a
go,
wicker chair.
you had to go get the baby's bottle out on Avalon Way or something.
Oh, my Uncle Willard and his wife, they had stayed up with Grandma and Grandpa out on Avalon, but they came in that night to stay with the coast because they was catching the boat to Portland. And after they got ready to go to bed, they found that they didn't have the baby's powder nor the baby's shoes or anything. And I was about 8, 9 years old, I had to go out on Avalon Way and pick up this darn stuff. And I was scared to death to walk down Avalon Way because the Indians were all camped along the flume. They were picking strawberries. And here they had all these Indians tied up to trees. They were all drunk. They were all tied up to trees.
You were 8 years old?
And I had to run down the middle of the road. I was
What
so
year was
scared.
that? She's 90 right
But I
now.
got back too late for them. They know the
19
boat had already gone.
1906 then. That was about 1906 then, huh? When you saw the Indians tied to the tree.
1905.
Yeah, they tied the Indians to the trees when they got drunk.
Was this in Hood River?
You know her doctor, oh, he's a dentist.
Henderson.
No, not Henderson. He's out there on Avalon and Belmont.
Can you please give me more water?
And that's where the Indians were.
In here, I need
all,
this to
all the way into town was Indians along the
baby.
boom where they'd come to town and pick strawberries.
Pick strawberries, huh?
But most of it went up in two or three. They would wear 2 or 3 skirts, and the best of them all went in the skirts, you know.
Best strawberries.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Tell us about the time you used to take a sleigh ride.
It said with a sigh, I'm so hungry, I fear I shall die. They don't realize that a girl of my size requires a great deal of pie. What's that? She heard someone demand. But stare hard as she would, before her there stood a prince with a pie in his hand. And he told her she could be his wife, she could eat custard pie with a knife, and help herself twice to everything nice, and do nothing but eat all her life. So they rode till they came to a large gate with this legend upon a glass plate. Do not put off for the day, tomorrow what you would eat today. And she ate, and she ate, and she ate. And she grew out of her clothes. And as for her nose, she didn't have any at all.
Hey, good job.
And she arrived at her father's home after night. And she heard her father say, Ben, here's that pig out again.
Good job, yeah. All right. Yeah. Get that camera going, and boy, she just comes to life. I tell you, look like Catherine.
Down to the courthouse to start school. There's a 2-room school down there.
She just told us.
Then we moved.
In the 3rd grade.
Then we moved when I come up so I could go to school at Carpenter School. We had built a house right over there where our house is.
well, that wasn't very far from here.
Check on Jeff. Is he doing anything?
Well, it was the old wooden stairway down there. We used to walk down those long stairs.
Their old house used to be right by that stairway.
Grandma, what did you used to take sleigh rides though? Where did you were talking one time to Joan and I about taking a
Oh, we
sleigh?
used to go sleigh riding, yeah.
Used to go with Curly Runcorn.
Yeah.
Curly Runcorn?
Yeah. He
Ooh,
still
he-
comes in the plant and talks about when he went sledding with
Is that right?
yep, and Grandma.
Who is he? I mean,
Curly Runcorn, huh?
He made the best sausage in
He's a
town.
butcher.
oh,
He's
He's
one of
a
your old
butcher at
boyfriends?
Parkdale. Well, he's retired now.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Was he one of your old boyfriends?
No, they were, he and his wife, Ruth, were more friends of Velma than mine.
Oh, I see.
I was too old for him.
Oh,
Didn't
I
Curly drive the bus, Parkdale
Right.
bus,
Taxi. Or bus. Yeah, it was a bus.
out of the fashion barn?
And he still got, he brings in pictures of that sometimes.
But Velma told
He
me
used to
that
make the
mother,
best sausage in town, in the valley.
mother was engaged to 3 guys at one time. That's what.
Holy.
Whoa, wait a second. Let's zero in on this lady. Look at that. Engaged to, oh boy.
Call inquiry.
Yeah, that's right.
Where in the world did you ever get that?
From your sister.
My sister wasn't anywhere around for years. I don't know how she knew anything.
Yeah, but you don't seem to be denying it.
I remember 2,
What's the use of denying it?
Curly and Bruce
That's the
Trump.
way
I know it isn't so.
Oh, Curly, huh? Curly and Bruce Kump?
I like Bruce because he had team horses.
Yeah.
What's that? What did you say, Dutch?
I like Bruce Trump because he had team horses.
Well, he had what did they call it there back at the coast to coast?
Well, he had
What
a
kind of a
great-
yard was it? A yard,
Feed yard.
feed yard or
Yeah.
something.
Um,
And there was a couple that lived in their trailer house in there.
the feed yard was the name of it, yeah. Just back of the show on the other corner of the block.
Yeah.
They're all good.